what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that haven't been here before, my name's Kagan Dunlap. I like to cover things that are typically related to like military, current events, current affairs, world events, geopolitics, and a wide array of like random news stuff as well. So I typically record my videos in the morning and I'll put up a big roll up of all of that stuff in the evening or afternoon every day during the weekdays. And then the weekends, we usually get some other extra stuff that may be like a little bit different. But anyway, there's a lot of stories going on today. I mean, it's been a wild week. You know, we went from having a all-out war pretty much where they were firing missiles and bombing each other back and forth between Iran and Israel to having a ceasefire. And now there's new propaganda videos being released by Hamas from Gaza and Khan Yunis, and there's all kinds of stuff going on in the Middle East still. Ukraine's still got things going on. There's still like the war is still ongoing up there. So we're going to touch on a little bit of everything. Without any further ado, we'll get right into the video. So on June 25th of 2025, a prototype of the Turkish Anka-3 stealth unmanned combat aerial vehicle developed by Turkish Aerospace Industries crashed during the international exercise called Anatolian Eagle 2025 over near Konya, Turkey. Now, Turkish Aerospace Industries described the incident as a, quote, emergency landing, end quote, although a lot of sources indicate that it was actually a crash, with the aircraft sustaining relative damage after striking an electricity pole during its descent. Now, despite the fact that it crashed pretty hard, which damaged the landing gear, the airframe remains structurally intact for the most part. Now, the Anka-3 is a jet-powered flying wing stealth unmanned aerial vehicle that's designed for multi-role missions, including reconnaissance, surveillance, precision strikes, and electronic warfare. It features a low observable design in order to minimize radar detection and can carry up to 1,200 kilograms of munitions with a maximum speed of Mach 0.7. And also, additionally, this thing can loiter for 10 hours at 30,000 feet, meaning that if there's like a imminent mission that's getting ready to take place, they can fire a couple of these things off into the air and they can be up there to support your mission for a significant period of time. So on June 14th of 2025, China showcased some of their mosquito-sized micro drones that were designed for specialized military applications, such as battlefield reconnaissance and potential bomb disposal. Students and researchers at the National University of Defense Technology in Hunan, China, showcased some of these new developments on the China Central Television on June 14th of 2025, which represents significant achievements in micro-robotics and are part of China's broader push to modernize its military capabilities through cutting-edge technology. Some of these micro-drones are approximately 1.3 centimeters long, which is about the size of a mosquito, and 3 centimeters wide, as well as weighing less than 0.2 grams, which makes them nearly invisible to the naked eye. Some of them feature a stick-shaped body with 2 or 4 leaf-like flapping wings that mimic insect flight, which enhances stealth and maneuverability. Some models even include 3 hair-thin legs for perching on landing on surfaces. One of the things they demonstrated was a prototype that has 4 wings that was controlled via a smartphone, and they demonstrated this ability. The drones integrate miniaturized sensors, power systems, and control circuits, which require interdisciplinary expertise in microscopic device engineering and material science, as well as bionics. Now, their small size allows them to operate covertly in complex or sensitive environments, such as urban settings where larger drones may be detected by the naked eye. They can gather intelligence discreetly, potentially tracking individuals or eavesdropping on conversations in indoor areas where traditional unmanned aerial vehicles are less effective. Now, while their primary role is surveillance, their stealth and size raise the possibility of other applications, such as delivering micro-explosives or toxins, though no evidence confirms of such capabilities. But you know they're working on it. Now, just to be fair, if China's got this, guarantee that there's other countries out there that probably have this technology as well. So the U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, made some pretty bold statements on a CNBC interview on June 25th of 2025. Now, for those of you that don't know what the Abraham Accords are, it was a series of normalization agreements between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and later Morocco and Sudan that was intended to normalize relations with Israel in the Middle East across the entire continent. Now, what a lot of people are speculating is that the Trump administration's actively working to bring additional countries into the Abraham Accords to further normalize diplomatic, economic, and cultural relations with Israel. Now, the statement that he made suggests that negotiations are still currently underway with other nations, potentially including significant players like Saudi Arabia, which has frequently been mentioned as a candidate due to its regional influence. Some of these pretty big announcements that they're talking about could imply that some of these could involve major unexpected or major nations. The fact that Steve Witkoff used the phrase pretty big announcements has led a lot of people to speculate that there's a possibility of Armenia, Azerbaijan, Lebanon, or Syria even being involved in discussions with normalizing relations with Israel. So on June 24th of 2025, a Hamas operative was involved in a deadly attack in Khan Yunis, southern Gaza, where an explosive was thrown into an Israeli armored vehicle, resulting in the deaths of 7 Israeli soldiers. The attack targeted a Puma armored combat engineering vehicle that was operated by the 605th Combat Engineering Battalion, and according to an initial Israeli Defense Force probe, the operative approached the vehicle and dropped a Shawaz anti-tank explosive through an open hatch. And this video was what Hamas literally shared, showing the attack actually being conducted. Now, this anti-tank explosive ended up causing a fire that engulfed the vehicle, resulting in the deaths of all the soldiers inside of it. And then the Israeli Defense Force ended up having to tow the vehicle out of Gaza while it was still on fire. Now, the Al-Qassam Brigades, which is Hamas's military wing, released that propaganda video on June 25th, showing the ambush near the Ali bin Abi Talib Mosque in the Man area of Khan Yunis. In the footage, you could see the fighter. He was notably wearing sandals, and he climbed onto the vehicle, then tossing the explosive into the command cabin. And then a second fighter detonated another explosive on an adjacent armored vehicle, resulting in near simultaneous explosions. Hamas described the operation as part of its, quote, Stones of David, end quote, series targeting Israeli armored units known as Gideon's Chariots. Also, just as a side note, a Shawaz is an anti-tank explosive device that's specifically an explosively formed penetrator, or EFP, which is developed and used by the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam Brigades, which is the military wing of Hamas, and sometimes also by Iranian proxy groups. The name Shawaz, which means flame, refers to a family of off-route anti-tank mines designed to penetrate armored vehicles such as tanks and armored personnel carriers. So the Wild Hornets, which is a Ukrainian nonprofit group that was founded in the spring of 2023, has developed an FPV drone that was designed for air-to-air interception, and it's capable of reaching altitudes exceeding 11 kilometers high, or over 36,000 feet. It's a quadcopter. It's a little quadcopter that can go 36,000 feet in the air. Now, this high-altitude interceptor was reported to have been fielded and seen operating over southern Ukraine, specifically in the Kherson region, as announced by the group on social media in June of 2025. Now, the drone's ability to reach these heights is comparable to commercial airline cruising altitudes, which is insane for a drone. That is nuts. What this is going to do is it's going to enhance Ukraine's capacity to counter Russian reconnaissance and strike drones like the Orlan 10 or the Shahed 136, which operate at lower altitudes. Now, by June of 2025, the Wild Hornets air defense FPV drones have downed over 200 enemy air reconnaissance UAVs since their inception. So obviously these folks make pretty effective drones. But dude, 11 kilometers, 36,000 feet. That is the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. Commercial airline cruising altitude. That's where these FPV drones are operating at now. And that's all the stories I've got for today. I know it's usually try to keep it short to 5 separate stories, and then, you know, we'll do a roll up every evening during the weekdays, and we'll continue to do this as long as people enjoy them. So like I usually say, if you have anything constructive to contribute to this, and if there's certain things you want to see as far as like these evening news roll-ups of like the morning stuff, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your input, and if there's something you think that we can improve on or something that you think we can do better, please leave a comment below to let us know, not only for me but for the editing team, so that way they see, hey, is there something that we can do that's a little better, that kind of shapes this thing better, that people will enjoy more or appreciate. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.